Since I was little, I think when I was about 10 or so, my parents decided that they wanted to go into pest control. And so growing up, that was like my summer, was like going out on jobs with them. And so, but they've always been telling me about their jobs. And my mum, she did zoology at uni while I was about that same time. And so she was really passionate about animals and stuff, and talking about those kinds of things just made me really excited about it. So when it came up to the age of like going to university, I was like, oh, like I could go, but I wasn't certain. And then I thought, you know what, I feel quite passionate as myself about the same things that they are. So I thought I could at least give it a good shot and see what I think of it. But I've fallen in love with it. I think it's really cool. I just had I dipped my toe in the water and I just jumped straight in. So yeah, through my parents. Oh, I've loved it. It's been really, really good, honestly. Obviously the RSPH level 2 has been a really important part of it, but I think just the connections I've been able to make through it has honestly been my biggest takeaway. Getting to meet Mark and Kevin and Duncan, and getting the tutoring especially has been really helpful. Duncan was a wonderful tutor, and getting to learn about their real life experiences and how I could use those in my work, and also especially knowing more young people that do pest control, and women, for my sake anyway. You know, I didn't know any of the young people that did pest control until I did this. And now I'm friends with everyone that that is on this batch with me. And I just think it's great that I've been able to do that, because it's made me feel so much more excited about being in the industry. I don't feel like, at first I felt quite isolated at the idea of coming into pest control. You know, when you come somewhere like here and there's a lot of, older, middle-aged, bold blokes, no offence to my dad, but yeah, so it's been nice just to see that there is actually a wider spectrum of people in it, and getting to meet so many nice and welcoming people, I guess, in the industry. Yeah, I think especially, as I was saying, with it not being marketed particularly very well, or not really much at all, when I talk to my friends about pest control, they'll be like, oh wow, that's so interesting, that's so cool, your job actually sounds like so much fun. And I go, yeah, it is, but you would never, it's never portrayed in a way that could be an exciting and really rewarding job, especially. So I think younger people can put it into terms that other younger people may understand, especially nowadays. And if you talk about how modern the industry is becoming, like through things with technology and being more eco-conscious, I think it can look a lot more attractive than it once was or is perceived as currently to younger people. And I think that younger people can do a good job at spreading that kind of message.
And so
I just don't think there's enough of the word being spread. And I think when you hear pest controller, you think of a dirty job, you think of quite, as you said earlier, just killing stuff and not really focusing on more prevention methods and the forensics of it all, and getting to study these animals and these insects, which I think for me is a part that I find really enjoyable. And I think if it can be presented in a way like that, which shows the benefits of the job, or like being self-employed, if you want to do your own business, you need to advertise the perception change of it more, because I don't think it is one of those jobs that is ever advertised. And by not advertising it, it pushes on to the idea that it's just about killing, because otherwise why else would people not bring it up, instead of bringing it up as a professional scientific career that can be anything that you want it to be, realistically.
It was my dad that started it. It started about 30 odd years ago, and then I've just grown up with it since I was 8 years old, been in the van with him, so just fell into it, really.
What it's about?
100%. People already think, why would you want to do that straight away? And you ask anybody, no one, like, I don't know, you go on a night out, for example, and people say, what do you do? When you say pest control, they're like, what, really? Like, that's just the common ground. But now I think a lot more people are looking at it, from being at Pest Tech today, and the shows and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's something we need to really push forward for more, because otherwise you're not going to have any generation in the pest control industry. But there's more things you can develop with, so you can go on to be a field biologist, you can run your own company. There's other stuff, but you can just do more of the horizon, do you know what I mean? So it's quite good, but I think we need to push for it a bit more, and MPTA are doing it, and other companies are doing it, so that's it.
So,
He's doing much more than that. Yeah, preventing rodents, insects, birds from being in someone's property or, building that they own, business. You're learning more about different pesticides and insecticides and stuff. So it's just like, there's more to it than you just killing something. There's so many more things and layers that you need to pull back and think actually it's an actually interesting job. So say like wildlife, you can be a field biologist and go in and be an EHO officer, like you can do, there's more things than just killing something than being a pest controller. But I think pest control is the best thing to do, I think personally, because you see different people every day. You have a conversation with them and then they feel at ease when you actually speak to them and you get rid of the problem. So, yeah. It's not massive. Like it's just support that you actually get that you didn't know you needed. And they're always there they always ring you. So like you do your exams, they'll push for you to do your RSPH level 2 that I've just done. They'll push forward for that. They'll ring you on whenever. They'll make sure obviously you're free and they'll be like, well, what can we do to help you so you're ready for it? And it's bringing more younger generation of people in, so people that might not know what they want to do. They might have never started in pest control, but hang on, well, these guys are offering me a chance, so let's just look at that. And I think that's what is really beneficial. So yeah, I think it's just a massive opportunity to really grow. For me, it's an opportunity to grow the business, my old man's business, so and benefit and do better. But then also it's people that just want to learn and go join a company. You've got all that records of training and it's good for confidence.
So I got into the industry through my dad. So he owns a pest control company in Southport. I actually went to uni to do something very different, which was film, but then kind of just fancied a change in career, and I've always been really inspired by what my dad's done in terms of building the business up from kind of nothing really into something that is very successful now. So yeah, I don't know really. I mean, I think generally there's not really very much advertisement or kind of, I don't know, selling points that are advertised very well for young people. So I think if my dad didn't have a business in pest control, it's not something I would be drawn to, because you don't really understand the benefits or even like the necessity of why pest control kind of needs to exist and how that benefits people. But I think obviously with my dad doing it, I've been able to see how it's just such an important kind of role that is played. I mean, it's benefited me massively really, because I've been able to get the one-to-one mentoring with Mark Wenman, which has been amazing. So anything that, even just small or big questions, I can go to him about, and obviously getting the RSPH level 2 is not even a training I actually knew existed, but then being able to do that and become actually the most highly qualified person in my company has been pretty good really. And then through that, I think next year I'm going to look at doing the field biologist training. Again, something I didn't know existed until I spoke to Mark about it and stuff, so yeah. I mean, I think really there just needs to be more awareness on how much of a good service you can kind of provide to people, especially kind of like in a lot of industries where it's almost a hidden service. So like we work a lot with hotels, and I suppose when you go to a hotel you don't really think like, oh, they've got pest control. It's just not really something that you kind of see, but it provides such an essential service to all of the industries that you will kind of interact with, and just being able to like problem solve for people as well is just a great feeling that you can walk away and think, I've done a really good job and I've resolved that issue for them.